K.
Hi everyone, this is so exciting. We're having a third person on a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going back, but here we are. It's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the latest Marvel movie, and the third and they're saying final Guardians movie. All three written and directed by James Gunn, who also made the Suicide Squad and Super and Slither, other weird, creepy, gross stuff.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to go back, but we went back. Mama K, we went back.
Yeah, we went back. I wasn't sure about this because Guardians is not my favorite franchise, so, but I kind of felt compelled, to finish the trilogy.
And Nicole,
also,
you came all. We can leave it at that. Nicole, you came all the way back, just on a whim.
Yeah, I just kind of took one for the team on this one.
On a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, I haven't really been feeling these for a while, so I just decided to go for it.
I don't think we've been feeling these for. I mean, I haven't been feeling it since Endgame, so I really was up for Thor: Love and Thunder, but that was kind of disappointing for me. So yeah, it's been tricky.
Still reeling from the loss of Gamora, Peter Quill must rally his team to defend the universe and protect one of their own. If the mission is not completely successful, it could possibly lead to the end of the Guardians as we know them. I guess. I should have read that before I read it. Usually I do, but this time I was like, this is an easy one. This is a nice easy one. I don't know if I fully agree with all that. Whatever. That's kind of right. It's got an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, 94 with the audience. 8.3 on IMDb and 64 on Metacritic. So those are high. Those are high scores. Those are high scores. Higher than, what was the last time we did? Ant-Man? What did we feel like we just did that last week. And
last week?
It felt recent. It's come very
I don't think it was last week.
Yeah, it feels like last week. If you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it's only in theaters. I guess before we go into spoilers for this, did you guys, either of you, watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special? Apparently there was one, and that would have been helpful viewing before this. I did not watch that, and apparently that would have helped with some things. I was able to follow things, but did you guys watch that before we get into the actual film?
No,
that sounds stupid.
I mean, I do love me a good Christmas special, but I didn't watch it, and I'm curious because I was a little lost during certain parts of this. So
I think the introduction of a certain dog-like character is done in that Christmas special, and Mantis and I think Star-Lord are siblings. They're really going to be part siblings because of their relationship to Ego. I think I haven't seen. I thought
they already knew that from the second movie, though, that he had all these children.
Yeah, I don't think they knew that Mantis was a child too. That she was like a slave, something. I think that's what it's about. It sounds like we didn't watch that, so we shouldn't talk about that then.
And if those are the big things, those are not the things I was confused about. So I mean, the dog was pretty self-explanatory, and didn't really.
I was able to pretty quickly accept what was going on with everything. But all right, there's all your necessary preamble. We're gonna spoil it here now. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is not about Peter Quill. I mean, it's that's a side plot about him dealing with the lost Gamora. The main plot is Rocket, and it's Rocket's whole backstory we learn about, and we got to rescue Rocket, and we learn about all of the things that happened to him, and the main bad guy is from Rocket's past. It's the Rocket Show, which is not what I thought was going to happen going in. There's other characters, of course. There's 7 or 8 Guardians, and they all have their things to do. The Perfect Gold people are back as frenemies this time around. That Will Poulter guy is Adam Warlock, the golden dude. They're around. The Ravengers are here. Sylvester Stallone's crew, the one that Yondu was part of, they're a part of this. It's a lot of little side plots wrapping up arcs all around Rocket's emotional backstory. So that's what's going on. That's how they choose to wrap up Guardians, is this story. Mama K, what'd you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Now, I don't know if this is a good wrap-up of the Guardians story, then, if that's the whole point of it. But this is Rocket's origin story, which is what it should have been called, right? I'm glad about that, but also I did read a little bit. There were some warnings about, really don't take your kids to see this because there's a lot of animal related things that are gross. Also, in my opinion, people related things that were gross.
Oh no.
But because I slept through most of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, a lot of this was new to me. So the gold people, don't know who they are. Why is Sylvester Stallone in this movie? I had a lot of questions about those kind of things.
Wait. You didn't know that Sylvester Stallone was in the Guardians universe, and you'd never seen any of the gold. They're in the whole of Guardians. Did you see any of Guardians 2?
Bruh, I slept through the whole thing. I woke up one time, and when I woke up, the gladiator guy was being gladiator guy. What's the guy's name? The guy from Gladiator.
Guy.
The guy from Gladiator. The movie.
Oh, that's Kurt Russell and Russell Crowe are two different people.
Wasn't Russell Crowe in Guardians 2?
Russell Crowe was in Thor 4.
Oh my god, I'm getting them all mixed up now.
Nicole, stop listening.
No wonder. Well, okay, so
he wasn't in Guardians 2. He was in Thor 4.
I also slept through that part of Thor 4, so maybe I'm thinking about all the parts.
Just because you slept through it doesn't make it the same movie.
Awake. Okay, so the Kurt Russell as the dad, right?
Yes. Now you're back in the correct.
Yeah.
Place.
Now I'm in the right place, but I do remember just that part and a little bit of music. So I don't.
Did you not remember Mantis then? Because I guess Mantis is in the Avengers.
I know who Mantis
movies,
is. Yeah. I mean,
but is that only because the Avengers movies? When she showed up, where you're like, oh, when did they get her?
She wasn't in the first Guardians?
No, she was not.
Oh, interesting. No, I know her, and I must know her through the Avengers, and I accept her 100%. So that's fine.
Interesting. All right, continue. Whatever. Yeah,
but because this is basically Rocket's movie, and everybody else is just there, it was fine, and it held my attention. So being Rocket's movie, I got some stuff to say about some of the stuff in it, though. But in general, I stayed awake.
Oh, that's good. Probably the images that'll keep you up at night. Nicole?
Right.
I actually fell asleep once.
This review. I didn't see the Christmas special. I don't remember the second one. I fell asleep a couple times. It's a great review so far.
Not good for Marvel.
The second one's lame. I don't like that whole Kurt Russell
I like the second
situation.
one. I like all the Guardians movies. I've grown to like them. I didn't like them originally. Anyway, Nicole.
This one was probably the best one that they made.
Ooh.
And I've actually heard that from other people saying that they heard that this one was the best one too. Like, it's going around as this one was the best one. So, I do agree with that. And I thought that it was interesting what we were doing in this one with the whole backstory for Rocket. I didn't know that there was like an internal crisis, not knowing what kind of animal he was either. That was totally lost on me too. So I don't think they did a very good job of having us remember fine details of this crew.
Well, I mean, the last movie, the standalone, was 2017, so it's been nothing. They've only shown up in other people's movies since then.
Yeah.
6 years.
I didn't really like the first one to kind of memorize it either. It was different than the other Marvels, which I guess I would like more because I'm not really the biggest fan of them. But yeah, this one felt actually like a lot more refreshing, even though it was still very heavily the same. Bomb, explosion in space, people, alien, creepy, gooey people, gross body, weird shit.
It's the same every time. Just all those elements.
If it's not taking place on Earth, it definitely has those elements.
And it's this disgusting, hairy planet that it made me want to throw the fuck up. It was absolutely putrid.
Wait, what?
The
Hairy planet?
Yeah, when they had to cut through the skin and there was hair follicles.
It's like Terry Folds the Planet.
I'm fucking cringing right now.
It's totally Terry Folds the Planet.
Oh, that's not good.
It's vile.
Bile.
But I liked this story. I liked the backstory about him, and obviously we needed all this if they're going to set it up to what we can only imagine as being Guardians second gen, or more higher percentage of not humans get Guardians. So
we're going extreme diversity, and we're going biodiversity.
Yeah, we don't even have any similar species in this group.
We're gonna start having plants as Avengers. We're gonna have.
Well, we have Groot.
It's a tree.
Yeah,
that's
true. Well, we've already. We're not breaking any new ground.
There is no new ground being broken. No, we're just getting rid of humans.
Have bacteria, groups of bacteria become Avengers.
Okay, I'm out. I'm out. If that happens,
they kind of do that in Ant-Man movies. It's kind of
that's true.
They go to I like this. This was good. This was I don't know. I think it was the right amount of good. We're like, oh, nice, a good Marvel movie to stop watching Marvel movies on. This because it feels like it does feel like a nice end in the third act, a little tacked on because the rest of the story is Rocket show. So like, it kind of feels like James Gunn wrote a trilogy, and then but it had to be a Marvel in the Marvel thing, so he had to make all the things fit exactly the way they want it to, and so it's the last one. Now we have to artificially break the group up, and then, as Nicole said, set up the new second gen, the next generation Guardians TV show, perhaps with cheaper actors. But
why did we have to do this though? I don't understand.
Well, everything is just a trailer for the next thing. But at least I enjoyed this trailer. I enjoyed most of this. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time talking about the specificities, though. I mean, the same thing I've always liked about Guardians. The same thing I like here. It's Drax and Mantis. Drax and Mantis's scenes throughout the whole thing are the best parts always. I also like what's her name? The bald Nebula. So the three of them get.
She felt a little weird in this one. I don't know. Also, she was very big. I felt like she was giant, Nebula.
Big
fat? How? She
kind of tall. Just Amazon Nebula. Kind of fat. Kind of tall. Kind of. Her voice seemed deeper. I don't know.
Her voice is always like
pills or something.
I don't know what to say. Also, what is the deal with Gamora? Okay, we know that they're related, but not really. But yes, but Gamora's in this, and I felt that fell really flat for me. No.
Are you on board? You follow up to this point with Gamora's whole thing, right? How that's
yes. I understand
Gamora. Yeah,
I understand why she's in this. And
so I guess if we don't treat her how she treated in this, which in this she's become like a Ravenger, and so her part of the Guardians is not as a Guardian, she's just doing a job with them, as with the Ravager faction. So she's like a gun for hire so she's not part of them anymore, really. And then so I don't know, what would you have preferred them do? Because I kind of like that wasn't the focus. I was worried it was going to be Peter Quill, Gamora all the time, and I'm like, that's not really what I care about in Guardians. And honestly, I liked following Rocket because I think Rocket's more interesting than Star-Lord. But I mean, I just want to see the comedy characters bounce around. The drama's good, but I like to see the side characters in this.
This was not funny. This was not a funny movie.
I laughed a lot.
Oh, we laughed a lot.
I think there were funny parts, but this movie was very serious.
Well, there were serious parts.
We only laugh at Drax normally because he's the funniest part of this whole thing.
Drax is funny, always.
Drax is the best. You can't.
But I don't know if I cried more than I laughed, though, because I did do 3 big cries in this movie.
When did you? All right, so let's talk about the dark stuff then, because we already talked about the light stuff. The movie is all about Rocket's backstory, and Rocket's backstory is he was an animal in a testing lab. And so he's got little Frankenstein buddies that he pals around with as they get torture tested all day, as they dream of getting out of the cage, and they're promised the sky land or whatever the fuck the evil doctor man says, who's the big bad.
Blue Sky.
And what did you call him?
Blue Sky. They were promised Blue Sky.
Yeah, they're comic. I thought you saw him blue guy. I'm like, no, he was more of a he was a black man, but he wore purple, and his face was stretchy over his old face.
I love how we learn about that. That's great.
It's a good detail. I like seeing. Although I do have a nitpick where like this guy's so perfect, and yet like he believes in like perfecting society, but like his face folds are like little clothespinny kind of things. Like, I don't know. Like I understand.
Yeah, he's a
that,
mess.
Like, I understand we have to see that so that like we can like get the reveal later, but like I don't know. I think he would have a cleaner face. That doesn't matter. He's got Rocket's got deformed little buddies, and he's they're tortured, and that's why Rocket's a prickly man, because he's like a genius, and the inventor man scorns them for, how did you know something I didn't know? How did you create what I didn't create? He's going crazy, and that's why he obsesses over Rocket, and he's chasing after Rocket the whole movie. That's why this is an all Rocket show. But the little buddies are Rocket's not able to free them. He escapes, but they are murdered by Skin Face Man. So that's Rocket's backstory. It's very sad.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the cuddly characters? Going to be selling a lot of toys of the spider bunny or the wheelchair walrus with the eyes open like the Clockwork Orange eyes, or otter hands.
Oh God!
Otter with the metal hands.
You mean Lila?
Oh yeah,
Her name was
I
Lila.
forgot about that. Yeah, it's our dog's name, our my childhood dog.
Yeah.
You didn't find them funny? I laughed at a couple of those parts.
Okay, so listen. That guy with the stretchy face with the clothespin, whatever you said, is Sid from Toy Story, and all of those little animals are the things that lived under the bed in Sid's room, because that's
afraid.
all I could see the whole time was the baby with the one eye, and the fishing pole leg person, and I was like, yeah, they're hooker.
Yeah, it's a hooker. It was a fishing pole with the ladies' legs, the hooker.
Why? Why?
Right
Why?
there.
As a kid, you didn't say that, did you? Because
Well, it's I'm thinking that Sid probably heard that at some point, and he's like, "Oh, hooker," and then he's like, and he knew it had something to do with women, so he combined the women's legs with the fishing pole, and
Sid called him hooker. Called her a hooker.
No, this is a Nicole and I thing. This is nothing. This is just
Okay, I'm all like, I'm so confused now. But that's all I could think of is
the bunny resembled the baby spider octopus creature quite uncannily.
Yeah, I just felt this was regurgitated stuff, right? It still kicked me right in the heart. At least 3 times I just sobbed. I was like sitting there, just tears streaming down my face, because I can't, you know me, I can't take animals being tortured. And just to see all those little tiny raccoons all together, and when Rocket realizes, everybody else knows Rocket's a raccoon, but he doesn't know he's a raccoon. And then when he realizes it, when he sees the little thing that says raccoon on it, and he was in that cage, then he's all like, oh man, that's what I am. And it kind of,
that's why they've been calling me that this whole time.
Right, except for whoever called Thor, who calls him Rabbit. So that was so weird and freaky to me, and stolen from Toy Story, but still, and it played through, because I didn't know it was going to be the whole movie about Rocket. I was really drained by the end of this film. I like the story, but it just really hit on all the things that get to me. Saving grace for an animal piece was the dog, was really cool. I really liked that thing, and I might have to watch the Christmas special now if it's got the dog in it.
The separate animal from the laboratory, their Russian friend dog who covers the base with Mohawk Man.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with that dog, though, except it could speak English, right?
No, I'm saying he's separate from that group. It's not like he was part of the lab. This is a separate talking dog from the other talking animals in the plot. There's two different separate things.
And it was so, a lot of the scenes were really long, and it was just really kind of hard to watch, and for me it's sounds terrible, but it's always worse when it's animals. Because when they showed the 1,000 kids or whatever in cages, I was all like, eh.
That's what I thought too. I was like, eh.
I was like, that's
Oh my god.
that's Darla's little toy or whatever from Toy Story.
Because the animals tremble and they don't know what's going on, and the kids,
They also don't know what's going on, but
but they all say yub nub or whatever the hell they were saying. They're fine. I don't know. The raccoons are trembling in fear. The kids are just wearing like dirty nightgowns. I mean,
I know. I take it Nicole may not feel the same way that we feel.
No, I do.
I love it. I love that we're all like, go animals, meh kids.
Dude, that was devastating with the animals. I didn't like any of that. They didn't prepare us for that shit at all.
you didn't think that you were gonna get the laboratory stuff in this?
I mean, I was prepared. I was prepared when it started. Like, I was getting what what was gonna happen, but like, nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted that.
Right.
I like how far he went. I like how, because like it's good. It's definitely a conversation you have behind the scenes. Like, all right, we got to sell toys for this PG-13 cute and cuddly movie, and James Gunn's like, put rusty wheels on the walrus, open his eyes. Like, they're just like, you can't sell that to children, James. You got to put spider legs on the bunnies. Like, what are you talking about?
Those are not going to be toys. I mean, they didn't sell Sid's toys from the Toy Story franchise.
I know, but that's my point. Is like, they had to have the fluffy friend of the golden guy, so that they could have and the space dog, so that they could make their merchandising money, because they weren't going to make it with
I forgot about
raccoons'
the fluffy friend.
friends. Yeah, they have to have the cute, cuddly. I'm sure that was part of a conversation at some point. Like, all right, if you're going to have a whole movie with a bunch of animals, but we can't sell any of them because they're horribly disgusting looking, then we'll have to have little other things going on.
Otherwise, they'll have to go back and start selling Hooker.
Exactly. That's why I like thinking about the behind the scenes stuff while watching this unfold, because it's just like what I liked about Doctor Strange. I could feel the auteur underneath wrestling with the studio, and I think those have been my favorite ones so far in the past. I don't know, 5 or the one Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange, and then this, because they just have an artistic voice behind them, and I can like see them feeling a little different. Like Ant-Man and Quantumania, or whatever the hell that one was, literally felt like just a commercial for Kang Dynasty, or whatever that one's gonna be. Like, it was not even... I can't tell you anything that happened to that, other than they were setting up the next thing. At least the story feels like a whole story, and it's wrapping something up, and it's about the characters I cared about.
Yeah, but it was confusing, though, for me at least, when, I mean, there was Golden Boy that came in, and then there was all this fighting on the planets between warring factions that were not related to the animal piece. And I was where like Sean Gunn's character, and I was just very confused about. I had to just let it go, because I'm like, I don't know who's fighting who and what's really happening here, so I'm just gonna let that.
There was way too many side stories.
Yeah, did you think so too? Like,
going, oh my god, way too much. The golden people, I really could have done without all of that. I didn't remember the Mohawk dude from the other one, so that whole thing was like very underwhelming to me, and they really only used him. I guess the dog was supposed to be like the shining star of that group, but like maybe because we missed the special. But anywho, he had a very minimal part. The Christmas special.
Yeah.
I know, I said the fucking special, the one that it would have explained everything. It was essential viewing, apparently.
I know. Now that we're talking about it more, we're like, I guess we should have watched.
Why would that be a linchpin for this, though? Exactly.
I gotta watch all the TV shows so I understand one movie. Like, come on, that's not fair.
But yeah, he didn't. I feel like he had very minimal part of the ending. I guess, I don't know. Even though he drove the ship. He drove the skull. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like that stuff was kind of lost on me. It's when I started to fall asleep a little bit.
Yeah, space stuff.
I will say this is definitely a little too long. Like, what is it, 2.5 hours? There was fat in here. Like, I could feel like there were definitely parts that could have been trimmed down, and the whole like. like the CGI battles, I know they're obligatory, but like when it started in this one, like the mutant animals and their flesh ship are flying at the Guardians coming in on their
that
ship.
thing's fucking repulsive.
And there's just like little like lasers everywhere. I'm just like, I can't even fucking see what's happening. Like I feel so old. I'm just like,
yeah, I couldn't. It was
just
just
understand what's going on.
That's how I felt. I'm so glad you're saying that because I think I say that sometimes more often than people like to hear. But I'm glad you're saying it. It justifies my.
It's not all the time, but it is. It does feel like pretty much all the time in Marvel movies, the ending fight scene has to be just a fucking clusterfuck, and I just want to see. I want to see what's happening. Like I want to see the action going on. That's why, like I like one-on-one kind of fights tend to be better. Practicals, obviously, like Mad Max and Top Gun. You know, we've talked about those, how good those are, and like. I just can't, when space battles flying at each other, I can't fucking see what's happening. Like, Star Wars is better.
It all blends in together.
Yeah, I can't, and I'm someone who loves space battles in the Star Wars movies. I can usually tell what's going on there. It's, I don't know what they're doing differently, but in this, it's just like gobbledygook. I can't see.
I agree with that.
So
yeah.
So
no more gobbledygook.
No more gobbledygook. There's a lot of gobbledygook. We go to Planet Gobbledygook in this one. So the side story, we have Golden People. I think they had to put them in because they were teased at the end of the second one, and then 7 years passed, and then you're like, yeah, that's what we thought we were gonna do, or I don't know. Like we gotta set, or maybe we have to set these people up, and James Gunn wants to tell the Rocket story and doesn't want to tell the Gold People story, but we got to have the Gold People, so I guess we'll make them side chaser villains that were also so this guy, this creator man, how much has he made in like the galaxy? Because apparently he's made like whole civilizations, and I mean I don't know, there's been like 35 movies, so I haven't heard about Skin Face Creation Man.
We haven't seen him before, no,
but he literally makes planets of people. That seems
well, they haven't even heard of this Counter Earth, so apparently it must not be that popular.
Yeah, like 1968 Earth for some reason.
For some reason, I don't know.
Because he wants to, make perfect society and I don't know.
Well, you have to kind of believe that it exists as just an arm of the Marvel universe. I mean, because there's talk about when Marvel chick, what's her name, Captain Marvel, has all kinds of other planets and solar systems and stuff like that she has to save and be around where other people, and everybody looks at her like, what are you talking about? So this is one of those places. Yeah,
I follow that. I guess there's just this much threat out there all the time. It just makes everything feel less, when we go back to Earth and we're dealing with politics, I'm just like, wow, this doesn't matter at all. When there's a man with face skin who can make Animal Planet or whatever the hell he's doing. Not the.
But don't we like how he has the reason that he has his face like that? I'm really glad we learned about that.
Yeah. So we find out the man, he's got little clothespins on his face, but he doesn't have those in the past. You notice in the past he just has regular face. And that's because we see when Rocket escapes and he hits that little key card thing, that he attacks Faceman and makes him Faceman by ripping his face off. And then Faceman's face.
Because before that he was like his little sidekick, his little very smart plaything.
You'll do well for my experiments, and then you and your friends will be free, and then, of course not.
It's a big fat lie. Yeah, and the friends all believed they were going to be free, too. So.
Yeah, well, they're dumb idiots. Why is Rocket the genius in the... What?
Well, wasn't one of them called Floor?
Yeah, Floor, because he's always on the floor.
Yeah, Lila, Floor, and then the Walrus.
No,
the walrus was Floor, I thought.
No,
the bunny was
Floor.
The bunny
was Floor, because the walrus' names was
Teefs.
Oh, Teefs.
Teefs.
Because he's got teeth.
Got the biggest teefs.
And they named themselves that. Like,
what was what was the choice to have the writing of those four characters in those scenes what it was? Because it was mostly the four of them sitting
Like a
around in a
child wrote it?
circle. What'd you say?
Like a child wrote it?
Yes, like specifically like, aren't we the best of friends? Oh, it sure is important to have friends, as they like stare at the camera. I'm like, I get it, you're gonna get killed in 10 minutes, but why is it being so obvious like this? It was strange. It was off-putting.
I think it's because they're weird looking and they needed us to buy into when they get killed. They needed us to feel the sadness and anger and all the stuff that Rocket feels when they get killed.
So the little kids in the audience have to be like, oh, I feel bad for them, not like, ew, Bobby.
Yeah, there should be no little kids in the audience of this movie, let's be clear.
Which character did you find the most repulsive?
in the whole movie?
No, of the four
of Rocket's friends
buddies.
Oh. Probably the bunny rabbit.
Yeah, the bunny
Definitely.
rabbit freaks me out the most.
Absolutely horrendous.
You agree?
Why would they do that? Why would they do that?
I mean,
it's literally the Sid's baby with the, hey, little buddy, don't be afraid.
Exactly.
It turns its head. It's the same fucking thing.
I know. Was he making fun of that movie? Was it an homage? What's the deal? Like,
well, he likes weird, gross, scary things. He puts that in all of his stuff. All of his...
I know, but didn't you feel like this was a clear homage to Toy Story?
I guess it could have been, but I don't know. I was expecting really gross creatures in James Gunn movie. That's what he does. He puts super... He did remember Suicide Squad? All the gross creatures that were in that? The giant starfish. And yeah, he loves the weirdest, grossest things and finding the heart in them.
I thought Lila was the least gross.
Yeah, because Lila had to do the talking. The walrus run was... I don't know what the point of that was. I found them comical.
None of them... I was noticing, like, all of them had some sort of, like, physical deformity.
Oh, did they?
And
I didn't notice.
Like, Rocket didn't, though. It wasn't like
he
was had a new head or something. But why did they have to get rid of the friggin' otter's arms? It just doesn't make any sense. He's trying to manipulate the mind. He wasn't... I don't know why he was, like, making weird things.
Because he was a terrible person.
Well, I'm trying to think this through, like, logically. The bunny one doesn't make sense to me, but, like, you put wheels on a walrus because fast? You try to make, like, walrus big, so make walrus fast with wheels, question mark? And then maybe Otter's got little hands that, like, clasp the shell. What if Otter had long arms?
I think you're really...
What if Raccoon's smart? What if Raccoon could fix my quantum mechanics machines? Just like if I put wheels on a walrus?
It's clear the only thing he really values, though, is the smart. So why... Nicole's right. Why do all these other things...
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. It makes no sense why you would put wheels on a walrus, but make a raccoon a genius.
A wheelrus?
A wheelrus. Oh, why did they use that?
Teeth.
Teeth, because
the wheelrus.
Teef's the wheelrus.
Yeah, the only thing that makes sense to me is the homage, because otherwise none of that makes any sense to me. And you keep all the kids looking the same. Where did these kids come from? They all look like...
you can't do that to children. You can't make that
in a PG-13 movie.
Replace the three Rocket friends with children with the same deformities. You can't do that. This is an R-rated horror film.
Oh, I mean, it's good. I liked learning about. I knew that Rocket's past was dark, and I kind of figured it was something like what we saw. But when Nicole asked who was the grossest one, I thought she was talking about in the whole movie, and it was definitely Clothespin Face Man.
What, just because he has clothespin face?
Yeah, because he looks... Okay, everyone's seen Wizard of Oz, right? And the scarecrow, like, around his neck where it would be like, I don't know, a bag or whatever if it was a real scarecrow. That's what his face reminded me of, the way it was all pinched together, but in a bad.
Yeah, they like sculpted his chin over a piece of metal or something.
Right. It was a bad pie. Yeah. Like it looked like bad fluting on a pie.
He looked like a shitty pie.
He looked like a shitty pie. See, they could have used that as a joke in there. You guys should have been in the room, in the writer's room for that one.
He did. He was like...
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. Before the movie started, I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna use their F-bomb. I wonder if they're gonna get to use their fuck, because PG-13 movies gonna fuck, but Marvel movies don't usually do that. But this is an auteur director. We're directing his third movie. Right. He's made them $3 billion, so they're gonna give it to him. And they use it in the best place, which is for comedic timing in like a mundane get in the car kind of scene. Perfect. Oh, I was so happy that they allowed that. There is a lot of compromises in here that, like, I'm surprised. I was watching this movie frequently throughout, thought, I can't believe they let this happen. Like, I can't believe they let this be. This is a very hard PG-13 movie for a studio like Disney to put through, and I give them credit for it. I like that they chose to be vulgar and disgusting and horrifying, and you know, let it fly a little bit.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I think so too.
Isn't it nice to not feel so Kid Glovey all the time? You know, let it out a little bit. As much as, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with Deadpool, what kind of line they're gonna walk, if they're gonna go full R or what they're gonna do. But this was a nice little, like, yeah, let them have a little leash. And we had not like children, but Nicole and I had like middle school aged probably kids in our row, and they were laughing at it frequently, and they didn't seem traumatized. They seemed fine. So, you know.
No, I think we were more traumatized about those creatures, but they probably don't remember seeing Toy Story for the first time when that fucking awful baby spider came out and ruined your life. Ruined your fucking life.
But it's the same thing. They're friends. They were your friends. Aren't we the best of friends, children? The otter stares at you unendingly because his eyes can't close. We are the best of friends.
I'm telling you, it's this generation's Toy Story. But Toy Story was worse because it's rated. What was it? Is it rated G? I don't even remember what it was rated.
I think Toy Story is PG. I don't think
it probably is just because of Sid, honestly. But
I think they say hell in it at some point.
All of those things come out from under a bed. At least this movie, it's in space. You're probably not going to be in jail in your life, so you don't have to worry about that. But you got to go to bed every night.
Yeah, we use shampoo most days. Think about the shampoo that was tested on all those little creatures in the little crates with all their little things, gizmos and stuff in them.
It was too real.
You know,
think about all the little nice things we have and all the suffering that had to come to get it.
Oh my god. Nicole, help.
Things saying not tested on animals, they don't just mean like the final product.
They put in parentheses, not that much. Wink.
They're testing like the chemicals, not just the fucking no-tear shampoo.
I thought they were just hurling bottles of shampoo at monkeys and being like, the monkeys don't like getting shampoo bottles thrown at them.
They don't dodge them well.
So
they just shoot a monkey in the face. Well, monkeys are not bulletproof. Next.
Let's talk about the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, Nicole was waiting for this one.
Most favorite part of the Guardians
movies, yeah,
is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So, what did you think about the soundtrack? And did you notice what they did?
Ooh.
I'll go to Mama K because Nicole pointed out what they did, and I said that's very astute, Nicole.
That's an open-ended question, and I'm sure I'm not going to answer it because I don't. All I know is I agree that is my favorite part of the Guardians movie is the soundtrack, and they melded different generations in, and I did like having Creep be one of the ones because it fit so perfectly. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what you're alluding to. Tell us.
Yeah, give it to us.
If I am gathering correctly, and if I'm wrong, someone else with more Marvel knowledge can let me know. But I'm fairly certain that they broke it down per movie. by decade of music. So I think the first one's all 70s. Oh, you're saying it like I'm supposed to know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
I was excited.
I think that's...
Is that the point?
I think that's a common knowledge.
Well,
you know what?
I told you.
Nicole's like, I'm
I
out.
told you to go. I'm like, yeah. I think that's what part of the thing is, because that's why it's like the volume 1, 2, and 3, and I think he's got the mixtape. And...
All right. Well, then fuck me. I'm done.
I thought it was.
I knew that was coming.
Cool.
I thought that version of Creep was really bad. Okay, so there we go.
You're right. It was really bad, but I think it was bad on purpose.
Oh my god. Why would that be?
I can't win.
Why would they do that?
Well, wait, no, let's talk about this a little more, because it wasn't just 90s movies in this, and it wasn't just 80s in the second one.
But at the end, he says he's got his next best thing.
Right. Which is what?
The 2000s.
Yeah, he pulls out the 2000s mix. On the iPad,
all the boy bands.
iPod, I mean.
That's why they stopped. They were like, we cannot go into Volume 4 boy band era.
Wow, they could do that. What's what the TV show's for?
Oh, shit. No one wants that.
I haven't heard anything about that, but that I gotta assume. Like, that's
well,
why...
the person at work that I told didn't know either, okay?
No, I'm sure there's...
Brennan, are you egging me on?
I'm sure
Did you
there
really
are people
know that and you just acted stupid?
I'm sure there are people who didn't know. That's why it's helpful for you.
You're
That's
stupid.
a
I was
problem.
letting you tell everybody. You're the one who made the call. I wasn't going to steal your thunder.
Sorry. The thing is like, to the average viewer, I think you're absolutely like that person. But because we've got like 47,000 Marvel movies behind us, it feels different. Like I knew that information from like Guardians. I knew that was like part of the whole thing during the trilogy, that they were going to like blend in music from the different decades. So
did you think
I certainly didn't
visit
know
his grandpa? Why did Peter Quill go back and visit his grandpa?
Why did Steve go back to Peggy? This is also another ending that I don't love.
That makes way more sense than Peter's grandpa. I'm sorry, is Peter's grandpa a thing? Does anyone know about this character? I knew who Peggy was before Endgame happened. I didn't know who Peter's grandpa was.
Well, we knew Peter's grandpa from the first one because we met Peter's family when his mom died, I think. So we knew
Peter.
That's it. We knew the very few things that I do remember about Guardians is the stuff that took place on Earth. So shockingly, but yeah, we met
Russell Crowe, but you remember Peter's grandpa.
Kurt Russell Crowe.
You don't remember Kurt Russell Crowe from Thor 5 or whatever? I don't know.
You know, sometimes things blend. I'm getting a little bit older, so I'm doing my best here.
Did you like that they all Bollywooded at the end? They all had like a little dance number ending, and to Florence and the Machine's Dog Days or whatever.
No.
Wait, why don't I remember
Horrible.
this?
That was the end of the film. There.
It's the next gen.
Oh,
it's Nebula
right.
and Drax, because everybody else fucking leaves.
That's right.
And
Goodbye.
I think, what is it, Nebula and Drax run like the floating head now, and now the Guardians. So the new Guardians is now Rocket and Groot still, and then you got Mohawk Man, Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, and then you got Cosmonaut Dog, and you got Golden Man from the Golden People.
No,
and because I guess he decided to join them,
and some random child.
Yeah, do they have a child?
Yeah.
Who is that?
I think it's time to leave. I think it's time to leave Marvel. This was a good farewell. We enjoyed the film. It still didn't really make a lot of sense in a lot of places.
Is that girl in one of the Marvels?
Is that girl in one of the Marvels?
That made total sense, though, Nicole. I understand your question.
What do we think of the Marvels?
But
the Marvels is coming out. That's the next one.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a preview for this
looking like
movie.
She's having a great time. She's having a fun old time. She loves.
At least she grew her hair back.
See how happy she is on set. She was glowing.
Who?
Brie Larson. Every time I see her, she looks so miserable. Like why? You don't have to be in these, Brie. You can pick something. You don't have to do this. I don't know why.
She might. You don't know that she might have, signed a. Marvel in the beginning made people sign crazy contracts. Oh,
yeah, but she didn't join until like 2018 or something. She joined late.
Yeah, I bet you she still had a movie. I bet you she still had a number of movies that she had to do.
Maybe it's a one for you, one for maybe. Maybe she has like little projects that they're little $10 million movies they'll fund for her if she keeps being Captain Marvel. You
know who's still happy to be coming back every time for whatever reason is Nick Fury. He seems to be perfectly fine.
Samuel L. is a good timer. He's good for it. He'll show up.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'd watch? I would watch a Saturday morning cartoon about the dog. That's what I would watch.
That's probably what Guardians, the TV show, is going to be.
Yay!
What it looks like.
I'll watch that.
Are we going to recommend Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Nicole?
Yes. This was the best one of all the Guardians movies.
Of all the Marvel movies?
I think she said that.
Maybe.
What's your favorite Marvel movie, Nicole?
Yeah, what is your favorite?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other Nicole.
Yeah, you gotta go.
I didn't hear you say that.
You gotta go back to like
Wonder Woman.
No,
Wonder Woman.
The wrong answer.
Was that just
Batman?
Bad?
Batman with Michael Keaton.
I don't know. Maybe this one.
No,
I can remember the most.
Spider Bunny. Aren't we the best of friends? Oh, we are just...
What other ones did I like, Brennan?
You like the Iron Man movies. You like Ultron. What else do you like?
Iron Man and the Avengers.
Yeah, we like the Avengers ones. Those are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You don't like Thor or Hulk.
I like the Tom Holland ones.
Oh yeah, you
Spider-Man?
like Spider-Man. Yeah, you like Spider-Man. The Tom Holland one.
What's
that guy? That little, the top 3 pop culture icon figure of all time. What's that character called?
I was just gonna say, yeah.
The bad guy from Star Wars, red lightsaber. What's his name again?
Kylo Ren.
All right, so Mama K, you gonna recommend Guardians? Did I ask you? I don't remember.
You didn't ask me, but I'm recommending Guardians. I agree with Nicole that it is the best one. Yeah, don't take your kids.
You can take your kids if they've seen
You can't
Toy
take your
Story.
kids unless they're over. Really look at that PG-13 situation because they're going to have nightmares and you're going to be fucked because of it.
I don't think so. Those are cute. I want to. If they have the Funko Pops of Floor.
Oh God, they are going to have them, and those might be great.
Yeah, it might be. No, I want to see. I want little plushies with their little like metal piece plush. 3 recommends. I recommend, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I think now I feel comfortable being done because now it's the Marvels coming, and I mean the trailer looked. I don't know. I don't think I can do it anymore. I think this is probably it for me. So this is a good one to end on. Go away with Marvel 1 into the sunset. James Gunn's going to DC. He's going to make movies over there, or maybe TV. I don't know. So maybe we'll talk about that stuff.
Just might have to no more superheroes. Might just have to do celebrities on a train, celebrities on a boat, celebrities in space.
Celebrities in space? Is that coming?
They got to go somewhere.
3 recommends for Guardians 3. 3 recommends for Guardians 3. And we have more new films coming down the pike. But if you have things to recommend to us, especially if they're new or streaming, those are the accessible ways to get to us. Films with the Women in My Life on Facebook. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Brennan_podhost. And you can email the show, filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Thanks for being on for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
The 90s volume.
Yes.
Till next time, this is Brennan signing off saying thanks for listening and enjoy your movies.
Thanks for listening to Films with the Women in My Life. If you enjoyed being a listener in our life, please rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Keep up with the latest from the show on Instagram at Brennan_podhost on Facebook at Films with the Women in My Life, and on Twitter at FilmsWomenPod. Finally, you can email the show with questions and suggestions at filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Original music for the show was created by Ian Burke and Chris Iwanek. Original artwork created by Nicole D'Alessio. This show is produced by Brennan Snyder. Thank you again for listening and enjoy your movies.